You are building a real business. The clients are coming in, the work is working. Quietly though, you might be craving something deeper. More expansion, more depth, more conversations that expand you with people who get it. So in this episode, I'm going to name the 5 signs that your next evolution isn't meant to be walked alone. Okay, how to tell the difference between a trendy group labeled a mastermind and an actual high-level mastermind space where transformation and intimacy collide beautifully. So we are going to explore what real masterminding actually looks like, why your growth edge needs more than strategy, 5 emotional and energetic signs that you are ready, and how to know if you are meant to be in the room. Okay, so this episode, I want you to think of it like a gentle mirror and empowered activation. Because if you have been circling the idea of a mastermind, no, it doesn't have to be mine. Of course, you're welcome to explore the Transcendence Mastermind, but it doesn't have to be my mastermind. But if you have been circling that idea and you are wondering, is this really for you? Then this episode is for you. By the end of today, you're going to walk away with a deeper understanding of what a true mastermind is, but also, really importantly, what it is not as well. The signs that maybe you're not burnt out, you're actually just deeply ready for this space, and an invitation to the kind of space that doesn't just teach but transforms. So, as I said, you don't have to explore my mastermind. I hope that this episode helps you to understand and get in touch with whether or not you are ready for a mastermind in general, whether it would be a great fit for you. However, Transcendence Mastermind is the high-level mastermind for spiritual entrepreneurs who are ready to create that consistent 6+ figure income, elevate their leadership, and rise with women who really, truly see them. We blend energetics and identity with strategy. And you know what? Within 48 to 72 hours, you could actually be inside this space. So I do invite you to check it out. Have a conversation. There is a link in the show notes. But let's dive in to today's conversation. So maybe you have been eyeing off masterminds. Maybe you've watched other women join them and you've wondered what actually happens in those rooms. Maybe you've thought, am I even ready for that? Are they just for people who've made it? Isn't a mastermind just a fancy word for a group course? Okay, and let's be honest, there are a lot of programs out there calling themselves a mastermind, and they're not. Okay, so please do your research. Real masterminding is not about just consuming more content, and it's also not about coach-only facilitated learning. It is about caliber, it is about connection, it is about intimacy, expansion. It is a space where the whole of you gets to rise, but most importantly, masterminding with other like-minded people who get it. That was probably the biggest thing for me. Like I've shared with you, I joined a mastermind 4 years ago. I did it before I was financially ready. I did it even before I thought I was ready. I just knew that there was this big thing that I wanted to create in my business. And I kind of joined thinking, oh yeah, they'll give me the strategy. And what I actually got instead, a mirror, absolutely. Then what I got was friends, business friends, collaborations, opportunities, people who I have been so deeply connected with because they are on such a beautiful, similar pathway to me, friends that I could not imagine now having in my life because I chose to step into this room. Success that I have been exposed to that I never imagined that I would be exposed to. Remember how they talk about you are the sum of the 5 people that you most hang around with? Well, sometimes in our lives, in our personal lives, it is hard to find that new circle. And so for me, that energy and understanding how that energetic piece works, I had to be in a space with like-minded people. to have the conversations that I can't have in other places, to come in and to talk about money, to talk about failure, to talk about big audacious dreams, to talk about things that are even personal as well. I have been supported on every level. And that was the space that I wanted to create as well. So if you are listening to this and you have been feeling like something inside of you has been pulled to just looking at a mastermind, I'm ready. I just don't know if I'm allowed to be ready. Then let's talk about that. So let's have an explore now of 5 signs that maybe you are not just interested in a high level mastermind, but you're actually ready for one. Even if your inner critic is still trying to catch up. And that was mine as well. Oh my gosh. The first call that I sat on, and everyone's introducing themselves, and there were some other women in there who were also earlier in business like I was in that particular business. But there were some women who were really successful, and I sat there and I was like, oh shit, I don't belong here. I don't belong here. So my imposter was trying to catch up. What made me join though was the fact that I had a bigger vision. Okay, so you might recognize some of these signs. Maybe you feel like you are, number 1, craving growth with women who actually get it. I can't stress how big that is. Okay, so you've likely built some momentum on your own. You've grown your business. Maybe people even know your name. But in your personal life, you feel like a little bit of an alien. And this is what I was talking about, the circle of people. Maybe you're trying to explain your launches or your vision and your friends just kind of smile politely and change the subject. Oops, I know that feeling. You don't need cheerleaders, you need mirrors. I sat in a car driving to an event with one of my mastermind peers a couple of years ago, and we stayed at a hotel together. And when I came back, I just was like, you can't have these conversations anywhere else. We spent the whole time talking about launches and strategies and all of these businessy things that other people just don't get. Okay, that's okay that they don't get it. I'm not going to let that upset me. I'm going to go and find the people who do. Okay, there was not one conversation when I went to Bali with other mastermind peers of mine and my mentor that didn't expand me. You want to sit at a table where you are not too much, where other women are scaling with their soul and they see you. In the Transcendence Mastermind, we are celebrating each other every step of the way. We have space to hold you for the things that are happening in your life and in your business. The things that are impacting you, we are here for that. The things that feel like too much to talk about, the fact that you can't go somewhere and ring someone and say, hey, I just had my first $10,000 month. Because that person might think that now you have $10,000 sitting in your bank account. Well, that's not quite true. But where do you go for these conversations? Where do you go? So if you are craving growth with people who get it, that's the first sign that you might be ready for a mastermind. The second sign is that you are actually really quietly now exhausted from always having to be the strong one, because you lead and you hold space and you are the go-to person for your clients and your team and your family, and yes, you love it. But lately maybe you've been a little secretly tired, not burnt out, but just longing for a place where you get to exhale, where you don't have to be the leader in order to be respected. High-level masterminds hold that kind of space, okay? Because when you are the one always holding, you need somewhere to land. So maybe then also third sign is that you want these consistent high monetary results, but you want to do it in a way that is not from pressure. And you want to do it in a way too that doesn't necessarily mean having to continually consume more and more and more information, because you've done that course's roller coaster. Okay, You've had the 10K months and the 20K months, and maybe you're fluctuating between 10 and 30, and now you're ready for steadiness. But not if it's going to cost you your sanity, right? So you want to create a business that actually scales with you, not one that demands more hours, more launches, more output to grow. The right mastermind is going to support your strategy and your nervous system. And let me just also say, meet you where you're at. A mastermind does not have an agenda. It does not have, in my opinion and in my experience, so in both what I deliver and what I've experienced, it doesn't have a curriculum. It meets you where the individual you are at. Okay, such a big difference. The fourth sign to take note of is if you are outgrowing the conversations with people around you. And this one feels a little bit tender to talk about because you love your people. I know. But what if lately your small talk has been feeling smaller? In fact, it doesn't interest you at all. You want to talk about offers. Like I was just saying in the car, like the whole trip, we were talking offers, launching, VAs, money, all the things, embodiment, income stacking. I love talking about income stacking. Visibility edges, energetic expansion. You want to be able to cry on a Zoom call without explaining why. You want to be able to normalize both being ambitious and sensitive. Maybe you want to be in a conversation where you can say, I want to earn $100,000 a month, and nobody goes, oh gosh, why would you want to earn that much money? What are you going to do with all that? Oh my God, could your business really do that? How would you get there? Maybe you don't want to sit in a conversation where someone's talking about the weather and what they saw on social media and the daily gossip. You're outgrowing those old rooms. That's actually okay. Please know that's okay. So that just means it's simply time to find new ones. So now the fifth sign is that you're ready, but you're actually done questioning it. Because maybe you have been thinking, I'm not ready yet. Should I join this container? Yes, most masterminds are a significant investment, particularly if they are a high value container. Again, do your research. Highly recommend doing your research. You probably wouldn't be listening to me still if that weren't true. If you really truly weren't ready yet, you wouldn't be listening still. You would have switched off on this episode. See you later, Jess. This one's not for me. A mastermind is not there to rescue you. You don't even necessarily have a broken business. You might actually just need a space to reflect back to you how powerful you actually really are. That you don't need to add more certifications or more modules. You just actually need to trust that where you are right now is enough to be seen, held, and expand. And that is also what a true mastermind does. Now, Transcendence is my high-level mastermind for spiritual entrepreneurs. We go deep. We hold all of you. We rise together. It's leveraged strategy. It's identity. It's energetics. Okay, it is for the spiritual entrepreneur who is ready for that consistent high-level income, real visibility, and a sisterhood that gets it, that holds her, that you get to expand with. It is so beautiful. So you can actually apply right now for the Transcendence Mastermind. You will fill in an expression of interest form. Then we can have a conversation because the energy of this group is really important to me. So I don't just let anyone in. Okay, that's why there's a form first. Then we'll have a conversation and you could literally be in within 48 to 72 hours if you choose to. The link is in the show notes. If you have been waiting for a sign, this is it. So let me know how this lands with you. Are you feeling these 5 signs that you are ready for a high-level mastermind? I can't wait to hear. All right, do your research. Let me know if you have any questions. And I will see you next week back on Resourced. Bye for now. Thank you for tuning in to Resource with Jessica Reed. If today's episode spoke to you, I'd love for you to share it with another soul-led entrepreneur who is also ready to rise. Make sure to subscribe, leave a review, and stay connected, because when you are deeply resourced, you become unstoppable. Until next time, my friend, stay resourced, stay radiant, and trust in the magic that is you.